Welcome to the golf locker room. Welcome to the golf locker room. Let's get it going. Big Siff, how are you?
What's good, bro? What's good with you? Everything's good on my end, man.
I love it. Let's get
Make a clap to this.
To show our appreciation for your support.
Make a clap to this.
All right, she's abroad, so you know we got something going that's dope. She's not in the country. Let's go. What's up? She's abroad. Welcome, Trish. How are you?
What's up? Greetings from Germany. How y'all doing?
Oh, we doing good. We doing good.
What's up, Trish? How's Germany?
Man, I can't call it, but when I tell you, y'all know I celebrated my birthday in Paris yesterday. Like, it was everything. And so I've been hanging out here in Germany, just, doing my little, international travels. Got me about 4 rounds of golf in and a couple more to go. So
Okay.
That's dope. That's dope. Golfing.
It's been real. It's 4 rounds of golf. It's like phenomenal. I got some pictures that are about to post that are phenomenal. Like I think I golfed yesterday and it's enchanted.
You're just kind of breaking up just a little bit. So we just gonna get the show on the road. Trish, explain who we got today, just briefly, and then we're gonna bring them on.
All right. So today we have with us Winston Salem State University. Their golf team. We're going to have the head coach, the newly appointed head coach. He'll be joining us, Coach Charlie Penny. And we also have the athletic director joining us, as well as the associate athletic director. And we also have Jarrell he's with the golf alumni. So we're going to have him on with us as well. And we're excited to have you guys.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Let's give them something. Welcome all you guys to the golf locker room. I am MannyUp, Big Siff Dog, and Miss Tricia is here. We're just grateful that you guys came on the call and came on the pod today because we started just doing a show to have more awareness to the minority amateur golfer and the junior golfers, and now we're heading into the collegiate minority golfer. And this is what, Trish? This is our third HBCU that we've had.
Yes, third. Yes.
So grateful that people don't really get to get an in-depth picture of HBCU golf, and because where there's no promotions and stuff, and people want to know about it, but they just don't have outlets, whether it be they know maybe about their alum from where they are graduated from, but not the overall picture of HBCU golf and how important it is and how vital it is if our kids can get into golf at a collegiate level, and then who knows where they're going to go. So just welcome you guys. I'm going to give you another big round of applause and some air horns. So it's just dope to have you here. Just thank you so much. we're gonna do something different, Trish. We're gonna let Chris Sifford start off
Ooh.
a minor, Chris, a minor round of questions.
Whoa. Hey, welcome. They call you guys Ramily, right? Ramily. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I had the opportunity. I'm in North Carolina. I'm in Salisbury, so I'm about 30 minutes south of you guys. I know a lot of alumni who go to Winston Salem State, people who are employed there now. So it's beautiful to have you guys on. I talked to Coach Penny today. Yesterday. We have some friends in common, and it's a beautiful thing to have golf back at Winston Salem State. So I will start. I talk a lot, so let me start with the questions. I'm sorry. So, Coach Penny, we spoke a little bit yesterday about the program, you being named the coach, and where you were at the time when you found out that you were the coach and set up an interview. What does it mean to be at Winston-Salem State at one of the greatest HBCUs in the country?
Man, it's everything. I hope everybody can hear me well. It's truly a joy and honor. It's humbling as well. And it's also poetic justice. So I always wanted to go to a HBCU. I had been offered a band scholarship to Norfolk State University, Central, and all of them recruited me. And I ended up going to University of North Carolina, Pembroke to run on a track scholarship because they gave me the most money. And so HBCU experience is always what I've longed for. And when I left Pembroke for running track, I picked up my clubs and just started getting good at the game. And here I am literally 10 years later, sitting at the helm and having the reins to run a golf program that has accomplished in its previous years a lot of success. And with our little absence from the golf program, my goal is to help lead student athletes to bettering themselves educationally, but then also athletically as well.
Wow, that's absolutely right.
Nice.
So Manny, I still have the floor here, right? Just briefly, and I'm gonna turn it back over to the top host here, Chris.
Come on, Chris, you were talking.
Yeah, just a couple of more questions, and this is for the panel. Historically speaking, Winston-Salem has some very unique places to play, and one being Winston Lake. And I'm going to let Coach Penny and Mr. DeBose, and I'm sure Mrs. Thomas and Mr. Fields, you guys probably know the history about Winston Lake. And it's almost Manny and Trish like the iconic uneven lies, let me play. Winston Lake was the place to play for Black golfers. If you were a golfer and you were a hustler, you played at Winston Lake. So Charles, the panel, whoever wants to chime in and give us a little history and let my co-host know about what Winston Lake is all about.
If I could defer to Jarrell, being that he's a golf alum, I would love to hear our alums speak about playing at Winston Lake.
Yeah, Winston Lake, can y'all hear me good?
Real good.
Yes. Winston Lake has a lot of history. I will say, a lot of the people that we got to meet along the way never shied away from letting us know how much history was at that place. But just like he said, Mr. Sifford said, man, it's pretty much got all kinds of Black history. The who's who of, Black golf has played there, from, Charlie Sifford to James Black. All the historic Black guys that have, done anything for the game of golf have come through Winston Lake. And it was an honor, to be honest with you, to learn that when we got to Winston and playing there. I knew nothing about it, but the history kind of spoke for itself. Again, everybody that played there back in the day was still there playing, while we were playing in school. So to be able to meet these people, be around these people, hear their history, embrace it, and kind of be that extension of their legacy was amazing. So I never shied away from teeing it up at Winston Lake.
That's awesome, man. Awesome.
Nice.
Okay, Manny, you got it, bro.
Okay. I can talk? No, I'm just messing with you. I ain't got too much to say. So, Coach, we're going to go with Coach right now. And we lost a few people. No, I think we're okay. So, Coach, is this the first year of the program restarted, or you guys had seasons in 2018, 2019? Or did you lose your season and the season came back? Give us a little brief history on Rams golf in the
Sure.
last 5 or 6 years.
Sure. So it was restarted last year. They played literally one tournament round at Catawba, and they didn't get to finish the tournament because of weather conditions. But soon as they played that one tournament, the world shut down. And so this is the, I guess you would say, the second hard restart of the golf program this year. And so hopefully we'll tee it up this fall with one tournament and then get ready for the championship season starting in January. So it is the first year that they've had the golf program back since, I believe, 2010, 2011.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. That is
Okay.
phenomenal. That is phenomenal. I know you guys are excited about that, about having that back and getting kids in and getting to that collegiate play. When was it hard to get kids into the program? Is it enough golfers out there that will go to a HBCU so you could properly staff a program or properly staff your team, coach?
To answer that question in transparency, matter of fact, let me just use some data to back where I'm going with this. In HBCU golf, all of our HBCUs, there are 257 male golfers. Out of that, Black golfers make up 43%. So roughly 110 golfers are Black minority males in the men's programs. To go for the women, there are 88 golfers in the HBCUs, and 33% are Black females. So to answer the question twofold, golfers are wanting to play at our HBCUs, but where HBCUs have an obligation to bring our Black young men and women into the schools, we are not receiving that. And so it is a pool. There are a lot of athletes who have sent me information, people as far as Brazil, Chicago, and then out west. But as far as having minority males, it is almost, as I was sharing with Sif yesterday, it is like pulling teeth to get these young men to come. And not because they don't want to come, but what they've heard is you got to go D1 in order to get to the next level. And so Division II golf is just not as popping as it should be because of that perpetuated myth that we hear.
Wow.
So do you find, and I'm gonna bring in Trish soon, do you find that golfers that opt not to go end up not going to college at all and not even participating at all and shooting themselves in the foot? Or is it just rare? Is the pool just that small where it's not, where someone's like, well, I'm not thinking maybe I'm going to Division II. Do they miss out, and is someone going to replace them, or do we need to really get into our juniors so you guys can have a better pool of competent collegiate level golfers?
Yeah, they just, honestly, they do miss out. And the fact that they will not consider a Division II school or even Division III to at least continue to develop their craft of playing golf, it's saddening. Because the one thing is, and one of the stories that I was featured in earlier this year was Patrick Reed from the PGA Tour gave me the irons that are sitting right here in my bag to help with me playing on the APGA Tour. And Patrick Reed's a Division II golfer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here he is, Masters champion. And so when you think about a Division II golfer ascending to that level, you can go to Division II and still make it to the PGA Tour and possibly be a Masters champion. So if that story starts getting out that if I'm good, they'll find me. And that's not just for golf, but that's for all sports, but specifically in golf. If they hear you're good, they'll find you there, then they'll show up.
Right.
That is true, Coach.
Can I say
so
something
good.
to elaborate on that?
Oh,
Can I say something
please.
to elaborate on that? I mean, the beautiful thing about golf is it doesn't matter the school. You don't even have to play in college to be a professional. You can, even after college, you can still become a professional. So having somebody not want to play at your school because it's Division II, really just, it reflects on their lack of knowledge. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know I could play college golf until I got my golf scholarship. I didn't even know golf was a sport you could play in school. So here I am going off this college in 2006 and had no idea that that was something that I could even aspire to do. So I took whatever came my way, and Winston-Salem State came calling, but, I'm appreciative of it, but I wish I would have known. And again, it just comes from lack of knowledge in our community. The fact that I say it all the time, right now is a great time to be a Black golfer. I don't know if you guys have seen what's going on right now in the community, but it is a great time to be a Black golfer right now. So lack of knowledge is by next year or the year after that is no longer going to be an option. There's going to be so much knowledge out there. Having guys like Penny working, being a coach, it really just needs support. And I told him from day one, when I found out he got the job, he's got my support. And I'm going to push it as much as I can to try to make sure that there's not going to be anybody that's playing at Winston-Salem State that didn't know they could play college golf.
Wow.
Appreciate you.
That is phenomenal, and that's how kind of we fell into HBCU golf. We are just a minority podcast to bring all voices, amateur, professional, coaches, enthusiasts to the game, but somehow we fell into this love of HBCU golf, and like you said, Mr. Fields, I think a lot of us were ignorant. And not ignorant just being stupid, but ignorant with that, just not knowing that, golf scholarships, just playing collegiate golf, especially at HBCUs, is just, I think we have a great resource. And some people like to look down and say, oh, well, I think right now, like you just said, Mr. Fields, I think Black golfers right now, if they tune in and horn into these HBCU golf programs, it is a phenomenal opportunity right now. I mean, our ancestors has already laid the support of supplying us with these beautiful, elegant schools all across the country. And, and we're going to get to the AD and talk about funding and golf programs all across the board, especially after COVID being cut, and how hard that is to keep that funding going and keep programs, men and women's programs going. But I just think right now, like you said, we are afforded a fantastic opportunity for our juniors and our kids to really play collegiate golf from D3, D2, D1. And I just think we're going to yell it from the rooftops, like, look, these juniors need to do a better job. We're going to get with these alumni to get back into supporting this college golf program. And I'm like Sif, I'll run my mouth too much, so I'm going to stop. And I'm going to let Miss Trish join in the conversation.
All right. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you loud and clear. You're just a little off on the audio and video. That's from Germany, though. We're going to let that ride.
Sorry. So my question is, Charlie, so you're the head coach, you're appointed the head coach of the men's team. Do we have a plan, or do we plan on having a ladies golf team? And I don't know if that's an answer or if you have the answer to that.
Did you hear a good coach?
Yeah, I heard for the women's program to be started at Winston-Salem. So in my interview with the athletic director by myself, her goal and plan, and I believe she may be in the weight room, she had to switch phones, is to have a women's program. And one of the things, and there she is, one of the things about the women's golf program initiative outside of Winston-Salem States is the PGA Tour is throwing money at schools for them to have women's programs because they understand the necessity for diversity and inclusion with intentionality behind it. And so I spoke with the diversity inclusion director today from the PGA Tour, and I told her what all of our goals, our desires, our challenges, and obstacles that we face as a university. And she said, well, we can't wait because there are so many opportunities and so many funds, over $100 million over the next 10 years.
Yep.
Just for historically Black colleges and universities.
Wow.
That is just phenomenal.
And
So
now
maybe
that Thomas is back, Manny and Trish, they were asking about the women's program. Is there a possibility for a women's program at Winston-Salem State?
Miss Thomas, can you hear us good?
I can't hear me.
You're kind of breaking
Can
up
you hear
just
me?
a little. Yeah, now we can.
Okay, my apologies for my signal. And thank you so much for having us on this evening. Absolutely, the goal is to have the women's program to go along with the men's program and make it a complete unit, and not just have the men's program stand alone. But when we had to make an adjustment a couple of years ago with our programming and baseball was taken out of our offerings, we added the men's program, and so getting it off to
Kind of breaking up.
She must be over at Forsyth Fish.
I spent the few days over there.
If you over there, bring me a plate.
We gonna get that up for Forsyth Fish because they must got that bomb fish with a few of them hush puppies. I always love fish. Okay, AD Thomas. Continue. And so
can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good now.
Okay.
Yeah, she's kind of breaking up.
Unfortunately, being able to have both programs in place under Coach Penny's leadership is ideal. Having both the men's and women's program, and so we're looking forward to opportunities to not only partner with the PGA, but also to look at how we can secure private funding and corporate funding to be able to do just that, to be able to push the program forward. You're talking about a program that will have.
You got a bad signal. We're just going to mute just a little bit. Coach, can you just expound on what she was saying? Because she was getting into some really deep stuff. She wants to partner. And like you said, these PGA funds for a legitimate and poignant program will be available in the next 10 years. So you can actually plan out an actual decade of growth and building your team. Can you speak to that a little more?
Yeah, so like she was saying, outside of the PGA allotted funds, having some private and corporate funding to come in as well, and also to get the alumni backing as well. And this isn't just for Winston-Salem State, but for HBCUs in general. We yell football team and basketball team all the time, and then we forget about the non-money generating revenue sports, and that's why you have those where you see the articles of South Carolina State losing a program, Hampton University losing a program, and things of that sort. And so ultimately, as we build this year, and then when we start to look at the plan of building and sustaining a women's program, hopefully we will have the community buy-in by ultimately too using community partners, Winston Lake, using the city of Winston-Salem, using the first tee of the Central Region where I've served as a lead coach for the past, as 2014, so the past 7 years now, creating a pathway for the young men and women from the first tee who practice at Winston Lake to have a chance to have a scholarship to come over into Winston-Salem State and stay in their backyard.
Right. Yeah, I think John, you know John Faley, don't you, Penny?
I'm horrible with names, but I'm pretty sure I've seen him.
Yeah, John used to be the pro at Forsyth Country Club. He's the pro down at Longview.
He's at Longview now, though.
Yeah, he's at Longview. Right, he's at Longview. And so we used to do a celebrity event each year, raising lots of money that went to that first tee program. So he's probably, well, I would say Forsyth. And also we talked about Billy as well. Billy will also take that tournament and, put it over at Sedgefield. So that's a pocket of revenue that you'll be able to slide in and get, because Billy and I have already had that conversation. So, but you guys are, it's rambling. And I wanted to ask the AD one question before she got into that fish sandwich. Over there, Forsyth. Hey, when you get with that fish sandwich, you can't stop. I understand, Miss AD.
Sif had one. I think Sif had a sandwich from that Forsyth on episode 2. I seen a big fish sandwich, and I was like, "Is he eating on the show?" And now I know where he got it from.
Because see, I can tell exactly what she did when she broke up. That hot sauce hit the microphone, and it'll shut it down. But Miss Thomas, being in Winston-Salem State, I don't, being one of the major HBCUs in the country, and you're the athletic director, so you have to, you've got a tremendous football team there, basketball team. You're in the shadows of big house games. I mean, the reputations precede itself. How do you disseminate or decipher between one program and the other, and preferably golf?
The goal is to make sure that every student athlete has an opportunity to have a great experience. So when you look at how you spread out and the allocation of dollars, obviously you've got to look at where you're generating revenue. For us, that's going to be football. We can't put any more people in the CE Gaines Center, so it's going to be football. But we can't have a Division II program and a CIAA program with one sport. So it takes all 10 of our programs, and our 11th program is cheerleading, even though it's not an NCAA sport. So trying to make sure that everyone gets not only an equal allocation, but an equitable allocation, and then we can generate the funding that we need. And so everybody at HBCU and at a PWI needs a Mr. Dubose, because James Dubose really carries that torch for us in WSSU athletics, and making sure that we generate funds through our horns, who are just invaluable to us. Those are alumni, those are friends of the program who continue to make their donations, even in a COVID year where we had record numbers, and making sure we can provide those scholarships. And then looking at how we can get creative with using the FAFSA that students have, and being able to package them accordingly. But again, the goal is to be able to spread our funds around to be able to fund our programs. We have a $3.5 million budget. We need a $6 million budget, but we have a $3.5 million budget. So you can imagine with $3.5 million, we are able to make sure we're doing some bare bones minimums for all of our programs, and golf included. And so when you have a coach like Coach Penny that comes on board and can partner with you and join in the vision and have his own vision for moving that program forward, it helps, because now you're able to tap into resources we didn't have previously and able to fund the program and continue to move it forward.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, AD. All right, so you laid the pathwork for Mr. Du Bois, the magic man with them numbers and them books. We're gonna bring you in, Mr. Du Bois. Tell us something about and the not the pitfalls, but some of the hardships are to budget out. What 10? You guys have 10 athletic programs in so tell us something about that and how hard that is with a $3.5 million budget, and what are some of the things you have to weigh and balance to make everybody successful.
Well, again, thank you all for having us. We're so excited to be a part of your
thank you guys
episode tonight, and we're very excited to have Coach Penny as a part of our Ramily now, and he's already hit the ground running and doing such great things. But when we look at everything from a financial standpoint, from a budgetary piece, again, 3.5 is bare bones for us. And I said something several years ago. I've been at the university now almost 8 years. And I said something a little over 5 years ago that I wanted to see every one of our teams fully funded. Wanted to see every one of our teams be able, every one of our head coaches be able to have full scholarships. And that's not something we can do right now. When we have someone with the energy that Coach Penny has coming in with such great vision, it really feels bad not to be able to say, well, here, Coach, here's your full scholarship allotment. Go get who you need to make this thing work. So, we aren't able financially to meet vision with dollars from a scholarship piece. So we have to go out and find people that want to be partners. I tell sponsors all the time, I'm not looking for a sponsor. I'm not looking for a transaction. My goal is to bring in partners, people that will be with us for the long haul, that want to make a solid investment into our program, that believe in our student athletes. I'm looking for not just a donor, not just someone that wants to give, some money this time, but who wants to be with us for the long haul. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you give. It's the amount of people that we can get to give, because every dollar makes a difference in the lives of our student athletes. And we have to continue to be focused on finding people that are willing to not just give money, but can give resources. Coach Penny was talking to me the other day about this nice golf simulator, because he wanted to measure golf swings and be able to help coach the athletes on how to improve a swing and allow them to be able to look at the screen and see it. What HBCU has that? Where in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, can a young golfer go be able to have that type of technology? And that's something that I believe we should be able to have right here at Winston-Salem State University. But we have to find the right partners that will help us get there. We were talking about golf balls. I had no idea all of the things around a golf ball. He gave me a whole education on golf balls. I even had an opportunity to tell a story about the dinks in the golf ball. But it worked too, Penny. It worked. But when we look at it, we have to go out now and purchase balls. Someone somewhere, I just believe, is going to be able to say, "Hey, Coach Penny, we're donating 100 cases of balls for you. You don't have to worry about balls for the next couple of years." We have to get golf bags, because as we are starting up, we need everything. Right. Just as we operate for football, we have to invest the same type resources in the golf. While we have a much smaller roster, the investment has to be the same. But we can't do it without people being willing to get on board with us, being willing to invest in us, being willing to invest in our student athletes. Because at the end of the day, I don't want us as athletic administration to do a disservice to those students that we serve. And I just believe that we have to continue to beat the pavement and find people that want to invest and be able to reach back to Jarrell and his other teammates and help us tell the story of how great golf has been at WSSU and how great it's going to be.
Wow,
that's phenomenal. We see AD why he's the magic man in them books and making it happen, because his vision and how he goes about that business is solid, and we can tell he's got a plan to come get that bread and get you guys on the road, because that's what it takes. And the service you guys are doing is just phenomenal. We as a podcast talk to different coaches and different teams, and every team we talk to just gives us more insight, gives us more love for HBCU golf, give us more data and real information, so that we can go out and preach to the community about what these teams need, what this support, what this love. And Tiger did do one thing in '97. He brought a lot of people that won't be pros into golf, but he brought in donors. Because if you love golf and you're a minority golfer, then you should love HBCU golf. And there's a legion of us out there. It's just not organized as much as it can be. And we're going to be preaching that. We're going to be organizing. And I just see a great future for HBCU golf, definitely for you guys at Winston-Salem, because just by talking to you guys right now, the vision and the pointedness and the decisiveness of your program is just going to be fantastic. Sif or Trish, I'm going to give the floor to you guys for a minute.
And yes, Mr. DeBose, you can't go out and get 100 cases of top flights now. Coach Penny, you come back with 100 cases of top flights. Coach Penny gonna send you packing. So I'm sure he's explained the dynamics of what the golf ball does.
I've learned so much about the types of balls, the aerodynamics of the
compression, ball, all that kind of stuff. You come back with top flight, he's gonna have his lip stuck out. But here's another thing, and I think we all can attest to this. I was a college football player. And so being a college football player, you come with a certain stereotype. You're a jock. You want to go tear the bar up after the game, and all that kind of stuff. But with golf, it brings a different personality into the game. So, like for example, we've had like Florida A&M, Howard, and we're sitting here talking to the golf team, and we've got kids who are matriculating in institutions, wanting to be brain surgeons, want to be engineers. So it brings a different type of acumen to the program. And so those kids will be the ones who leave the program and champion your golf program. And so I think that's one of the reasons why we have to, make great focus on getting quality or making it available and having the opportunity for those kids to matriculate into a golf program, because those are the ones a little different. I'm not throwing shade on basketball, football, but golf is a little different, man. We're a little quirky. I was a wild guy, but now I'm a little quirky now. I'm a little nerdy now. But yeah.
So, Sif, just like what you were saying, I'm sorry, Trish.
Go ahead.
I was a 3-sport athlete in high school. Played basketball, played baseball till I tore my rotator cuff, and then I put on some track spikes my last semester in high school and ran track. I've yet to have somebody to come to me and say, "Hey, man, why don't you meet me at the courts and come? Let's shoot some ball," or "Hey, let's meet out on the track and let's run some sprints." I've always gotten the call to say, "Hey, what you got going on? Hey, let's go to the course and let's tee it up." My last 4 jobs have been because of the game of golf, not because of any other sport that I've played.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We hear that all the time. The best boardroom is the golf boardroom. And when you take that with you, oh my goodness, the connections, the relationships, they will last a lifetime. And we could, just like you said, Coach, all the other coaches and people in general tell us that when they meet and have meetings on the golf course or took up golf when they were younger, it still stays with them. But like you said, they're just not about to go, "Oh, let's go shoot some hoops and talk about this $1 million deal." That's not going to happen. The $1 million deal is easily done on the course, but it won't be done on that half court, unfortunately. And I love basketball.
Hey, Manny, tell them, because you have a great relationship with Alex. Tell them when Alex first played his first round of golf, tell him his foursome.
Okay, so Alex, comedian, been in maybe 50 movies, was right out of high school, he was a writer for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and he got into golf. And so while he was a writer on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and this was he was with us on last episode, he went on a foursome with, it was him, Will Smith, Wayne Gretzky, and Joe Pesci. And that foursome, and like he said, he was almost a neophyte golfer, but those relationships that he did back 97, 96, when he did that foursome, are still relevant in 2021, just on that one foursome.
Wow.
And, he still pulls from that well, and he still pulls for those resources 30 years, 25 years later. And that's what we always say, our young kids. I'm like, I promise you, you will be pulling from the golf well for the rest of your life. If you have integrity, if you, especially if you play well, you're going to get invited to all over the place. And if you play well, the world's your oyster, and you don't have to just open it up. You don't have to be a pro to gain, like you said, the last 4 jobs, Coach. They were probably, oh yeah, he's a good golfer, and we can deal with him for 4 or 5 hours without him going crazy. Yeah, we need him in our company. And that's what we got to get our kids. Division 3, Division 2, Division 1. Those skills and connections go throughout the divisions. And we got to make sure that our kids are not shooting themselves in the foot over information that's not even valid. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not even a valid decision to rule out a D3 or D2 or D1 HBCU. Because of what you don't know, you know what I mean? And some of that is us too. We got to get the information, like that story about what's my PGA that went to Division 2. That's
Pat Reed.
Pat Reed. Well, too. He's got double pneumonia right now, fighting that. But Patrick Reed, like you said, Coach, D2, but he's, he Masters champion. It was in the top 10 of the world for years. He would have been, so in the FedEx Cup, and D2. So, Trish, do you have anything?
I do. I have two questions. I got two questions. So one is practice facilities. Is that Winston Lake, or where's y'all's team's practice facility going to be?
Great question. So Winston Lake is already, and we have the gentleman that runs Winston Lake, Julius, is not a alum of Winston-Salem State, but he's married to a Ram. And so he's already given us the golf course where our athletes can walk and play as much as they want at no cost.
Awesome.
That's amazing. That's great.
Only the first challenge that we're meeting is the city is redoing the driving range. So right now we do not have a golf course where we can practice until courses around there like Tanglewood, Bermuda Run, and then Maple Chase hopefully will extend the opportunities for us to come out and use their practice facilities. So when I say these guys are going to be grinding, they're going to have a chip on their shoulder just for the fact that they don't have access to the necessary things and that a golfer needs. That is one of the things that's fueling me, because we started from the bottom. Now we got to show them that we're here.
Right.
And so, but Maple Chase is definitely going to be our home course. The historicity of Black community at Winston Lake will never be forgotten and taken for granted, because it is they who opened the door. Right. They put their foot in the door when they tried to close it, and now it's our job to keep walking through that door. And then
absolutely,
hopefully, and like Schiff we were talking about yesterday, any golfer who turns down an opportunity to come to the Triad to play golf in college, they're missing out.
Big time.
Missing out.
It's beautiful, man. I mean,
Metropolis.
It's the Metropolis. I mean, you're not too far from Pinehurst. You got all the Greensboro. You're not too far from. I mean, it's a gold mine where you guys are. Sorry, Trish.
No, you're good. No, good. So, and then my last question, we always ask this question about HBCUs. So, I know we heard simulators, we heard balls, we heard bags. If you were to have your top 3 things that your program would need that just, would make the world go round, make the program better, what 3 things would those be?
Let me take the first one, Coach Penny.
That's right. Let Magic Fingers. He's gonna make it happen. Let him know.
Paint the picture, Reverend.
Let's go, Mr. Du Bois.
My number one is scholarships. Everybody else, AD Thomas and Coach can have the rest. I need scholarships because then Coach Penny can do everything that he needs with people.
Well, so I would absolutely echo the scholarships, but along with those scholarships is a full-time position for our head coach, because we'll have a fully scholarship team, but we've got to have Coach Penny in a full-time position right now. Right. He's on a part-time position, and being able to have him full-time, and I'll tell you, he's putting in work like he's full-time, 40 hours a week. So it is not because of what his salary may be, but being able to fully fund with benefits that position is really critical. So that, along with those scholarships. Coach Penny, what you got to bring up the rear?
I need support from our Black junior golfer network. I understand you want your child to go play at the Duke, the Alabamas, the SECs, and Pac-12s, but I need for us to understand we have a moment where we can really make a statement in the diversity, but in the upbringing and development of our next Tigers, Heralds. Tony Finau, even though he's not African American, but he's a minority golfer. Joseph Bramlett, and Willie Max, the Kamayu Johnsons, those who are playing on the PGA Tour currently, and then I forget the young man from Michigan State, the Kevin Halls. I can go for Tim O'Neill, all the guys I played with this summer. I need your support, because at the end of the day, as Jarrell has already said, it does not matter where you go. If you're good, they're going to find you.
That's right.
But another thing that our kids need is time. We always see the arguments in a Facebook group about why more black kids are not playing golf at the next level. Is simply because they don't have the same amount of hours clocked like other children do who have more opportunity. So if they come to these HBCUs, they're going to be put into the fire right away to help them develop, where they might have to sit out a season because there are guys in front of them that are just better. So get them to programs, because ultimately our goal is to get an education, then to get championships, and it all pay for itself. But I would say the support from our Black junior golfer networks, the MAC championships. I know Ro Thompson from the Black Golfers Alliance, he has a tournament that he puts on, and some others. Right. I need your support, and I want to do it with the community. I'm a believer and we're interdependent, and we have to rely on one another. And so hopefully, with that being said, I could ask for all the equipment in the world, but if I ain't got no golfers to swing the equipment.
Right.
Yeah.
That,
well, I think that is it. And like I said, it's up to all of us to connect the dots. That's why I said the junior golfers, we were saying that maybe our first show when we were talking to the HBCU programs, like, where are you going to go? We got parents spending money and doing all this stuff for these juniors. And then after that, where are you going to send them? We need to send them to these HBCUs. We need to get them in college. And I mean, it's just phenomenal that if you do put in the money and you do put in the time and you get donations, you got somewhere to send your kids to actually play collegiate level golf. But most importantly, like you said, get that degree and get that education while you're playing collegiate level.
Man, this is the last thing I'll say. If we have other ethnic backgrounds sending me emails from Brazil, from Canada, from other nationalities abroad, and wanting to come play just because it's an opportunity, why can't we do the same?
Yeah, we're the truth is, big coach, we messing up, because they will find you 17,000 miles away, and like you said, you getting emails and please, we're buying the ticket and we will send them, just meet me and bring me on the team. We got cats around the corner like, come on, man, it's right here for you. So like I said, we do get disadvantaged, and sometimes we shoot ourselves in the foot also, and we just got to change that. We do better when we know better, and we're just going to get that word out and be hopeful and be optimistic. Trish, I know you asked two questions, but
those are my two questions. I want to thank y'all for sharing that with us, because we definitely wanted to know what those three things would be. So.
Yeah, we ask all the programs this because we want to compile things and get real data from the people who's living and working it every day. Yeah. Coach, AD Thomas, Assistant AD DeBoer, you guys are living and working it every single day. And you're juggling 1,000 things, trying to get these student athletes to better themselves and have opportunities. And so we was looking at programs, or at least I was, and I was just digging into some data and some numbers. And I ran across a list of school budgets and go for and how they do revolving doors on ticket sales, and then that's part of their budget, and it goes anywhere. And they had some HBCUs. It was like a 200 university list of budgets, and I'm not going to go through the schools, but the top school was 220 million a year, and it went all the way down to like about 3 or 4 million a year. And then they broke it down to what the ticket sales brought in and how that offsets some scholarship money and all that. And and some of our HBCUs was up there. Some of them was at 20, some of them was at 22 million, some of them was at 18 or 19 million if I remember correctly. But no matter what the money is, like I said, we have just a great network of HBCUs that our kids can go to and actually play golf. I could see if we were sitting around like, if we only had some Black colleges, so we got them. Let's use them.
We got them.
We're here.
We got them.
And the wild part, man,
blood has been spit for this.
Hey, if you guys, Tricia and Manny, if you guys were to go on the campus of Winston-Salem State, you'd be in awe. It is, it is freaking unbelievable, man. And I'm not comparing it to any other institution. But when I'm saying, when you go on the campus of Winston-Salem State, you're on a university, big time university. It's epic, man.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. And no, I leading up to the program, I'm on YouTube. I'm watching the Rams band. They got some new uniforms this year. Yeah. I'm on it. I'm watching. I'm getting excited. And just on my personal Facebook, I'm in Cali, so we're in another la land. But I paste. I copy and paste stuff. Like we hear about all kind of crazy stuff, the crate challenge and dancing this and that. But I put bands on my Facebook page because it's a lot of people that just don't see what our people are doing. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna start. I can't wait to start putting these HBCU golfers on. Like, don't get it twisted. Our people are there and they're trying, and they're in a professionally run program, and it's a lot of hardworking people making it so they can do what they do. Let's bring on, and for a quick minute, we're going to bring on, we have, I'll let Trish go because I've been talking. Let's bring on Robert Price. And Trish, tell the panel exactly what Robert Price does. Hey, Robert. Oh, not. He got up. Well, we always have like a mental side to our podcast where amateurs or whatever kids can learn mental toughness, mental discipline, different practices they could do, and you involve them in that also when you get your team and stuff. Okay, let's bring on Mr. Price. We're gonna bring you in, brother, and bring your part in. There we go. Hey, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
What's up,
bro?
All right, bro.
How you doing?
Good.
Robert, if you wanted to introduce yourself, Robert, if you wanted to introduce yourself real briefly.
Sure. Well, hello, HBCU family. We'll start with that. Hampton University in the house. We'll second that one. So y'all already know. Robert Price here. I'm a mental performance coach. I work with athletes, not only golfers, but athletes from every field of human endeavor, every sport. My job really is to help people go from being good to consistently great. And so, when you're talking about those golf balls, I was really thinking like, man, how can we get him something, somewhere, somebody? But those are those small pieces, as we talk through. Because when I talk to athletes, even about building confidence, right? It's about being able to have the things that you need in order to set yourself up for the successes that you're looking for. And so obviously in this conversation that you guys have been talking about tonight and with other teams, I've listened to a few, it's about access, and it's also about education, about do folks actually know that your school has a team, and what is the makeup of your team? I'm here in Savannah, Georgia, so I see Savannah State golfers practicing. They practice where we practice, which is a public golf course. Other schools that practice in the same area at private golf courses. And so, there's always those pieces, but the reality of it is to understand, like, there's opportunities available, and, to just kind of get those names out there for aspiring golfers. So that's one of the things I'm going to continue to look forward to do too, as these teams start to get better golfers, but also looking for opportunities to find golfers. So coach, if you're looking for somebody in like 2025, 2026, might have somebody for you. Or maybe next year. So we'll see. These are all part of the connections that we talk about making all the time.
Yeah. Robert, that was going to be one of my questions to you, because I know you have some kids that play, your children play golf. And so that was going to be a question to you. Not to put you on the spot with this HBCU, but like, would your plan be to have them go to a HBCU?
That's a great question. So it's about money, because Charles mentioned it. So, the reality for me, I have 4 kids. So if one of my children is blessed and fortunate to be able to aspire to get a golf scholarship, hey, it's at that time, it's about, is this a school that, there's a lot of things to that, but it's not that we wouldn't look at it. You know what I mean? I went to one, my wife went to one, we're both Hampton graduates. So, and we recognize our school doesn't have a team right now. But it's definitely something worth looking at. I mean, there are obviously D1 programs available in the HBCU realm. So I think, the reality of it is, for me personally, is absolutely, it's a different experience. And not a lot of folks can talk about. I mean, we're on this call. There's actually like, Miss Thomas was like, HBCU, yes. It's just a different feeling. And, there are schools even here about, even in Georgia, that have opportunities. So that definitely is something, in the future, I would say for any athlete, but specifically my own kids. I have 2 junior golfers. So I have a daughter who's a rising 9th grader and a son in the 6th grade that play golf. And we talk about, these potential opportunities. And so, for boys, it's definitely hard. And so any opportunity to play anywhere with any money, it's kind of like you find it. And obviously I share, just like at Winston Salem or wherever it might be, it's about the academic piece. And so if our students are doing well in the classroom, they have opportunities to get academic scholarships along with an athletic scholarship. So that's a big deal.
Okay.
Hey, Robert, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Nice to see you again. Hey, guys, I want to show you how good Robert is. He's awesome. He gets in the mind of golfers and other athletes and other people in order to correct what they're going through in their mind. Let me show you how awesome he is. Robert, I shot a 32 the other day and shot 45 on the back. What happened to me?
32. When did you stop playing? On hole 16?
No, man. 32. I had made 4 birdies on the front, clean card, and went to the back and shot 45. What happened to me?
I'll tell you a secret. You actually, I call it projecting the future, right? So when we play those rounds, or even half a rounds or a few holes, we're like, 32. What if I get another 32? And you kept thinking about that the whole time, versus just playing your golf game and going out there and just shooting even par. And you would have definitely taken that all day. So I always tell players, it doesn't matter when your birdies come, but as long as they come, they come. And then we just play for par the rest of the way. So, oh man, that would have been a sweet round. But 34, 45.
Now, switching gears, going from golf to a personal and social situation. I'm thinking about killing my wife. What's wrong with me? I'm just kidding.
911. Look.
Can you talk?
We're gonna mute that.
Luckily, my speakers is off. Alexa would have called 911 on that. Stop it.
I just wanted Charles to laugh.
You make Charles go all the way back in the locker room. Like, I don't want to be a part of this.
See, Charles moved back. When he moved back, I saw that hat. So Charles, I gotta have that hat, bro. It ain't the only one they gave you.
You want the hat? I want the shirt, man. We ain't had those shirts when I was in school. I want that shirt.
I want everything.
Very nice. So, Robert, what is just some quick tips again, because we bring them on just to help us, with our mentals. What are some quick tips, or did you have anything to say just to the amateur golfer and a junior golfer? Because a lot of our minority junior golfers who need to matriculate into these schools, they still need to have what other not well-to-do or well-funded kids have. And I think, have you heard them having mental coaches in the junior level, or is that something new?
Yeah.
Or have they always had that kind of support and that kind of coaching? We have golf coaches, but do the juniors actually have mental coaches also?
Yeah, I would say for what I do and kind of just that market, it's definitely growing. I would say, obviously, you look at your Division I recruiting kids, they typically have a mental coach probably around their junior year, just to try to continue to get themselves those bumps up, really reducing those scores so that they can kind of be more, attractive to schools. And so I would say definitely at that age, what I'm finding obviously now just through access and the way that I even offer services to folks, in a virtual way is that, it's becoming more and more affordable and more spoken about, like this is something that is of need in order to actually to get you to matriculate through that junior golf, season, if you will. And so even as young as, I have clients, as young as 6th and 7th grade, 8th grade, using these services because they recognize that this is and no matter where you go, no matter what room you speak into, but everybody knows that golf is mental. And if you don't train that other 50%, 75% at the professional level, other 90% of your game, then you're really missing something. And so that's something I always share with folks. I try to get them to understand those pieces because they say that it's mental, but they never put any energy or effort into it. And so, my services allow them to be able to do that in a nice way.
Okay. Wow. Have you worked with collegiate students or athletes?
Absolutely. And so, hey, I'm available. But one of the things for sure that it's a tricky one sometimes. If literally, I was just working with a student athlete yesterday. We were just talking about his coach and how he's going to be able to manage that relationship. His coach does not know that he is working with me. I really love coaches to know that their athletes are working with a mental performance coach or another person, if you will. I just think that that's a great relationship to be able to have for that coach to know that. But in this particular kid's circumstance, the coach is not very open to this. And so he's like, I'm getting better. I'm in the starting 5, but he might ask why. And I'm like, you might have to just tell him you're getting your mind right. And that's just what we do. So I think for that collegiate kid, absolutely. I've worked, all the way through if I can. I have some clients that are in the professional space that I've worked with in high school, college, and now pursuing their professional dreams. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, college is a great age, though.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
I think it's just speaking to Robert's point, even if it's non-athletic, I think from a wellness standpoint, everyone needs to at least, go see a guy like Robert once in their lifetime just to get some clarity and some understanding. Wellness, man, is key.
Yeah.
Definitely. And let's swing that back to Coach or just any other staff. How have your athletes and your programs, like I said, I was watching the band on YouTube. I was just very excited about their new uniforms. Of course, I'm just extremely excited about the golf program. How have they fared with the COVID and the lockdowns? And I know schools and Mr. Du Bois, I know y'all been getting hit with these, I've heard and I've read a lot of programs actually had been getting cut due to the COVID. And some golf programs, not just HBCUs, all throughout all colleges was getting cut because it's just the lack of funds because everything was shut down for 18 months. How have your students, how have you guys been able to keep it happening and keeping the tempo and the optimism during COVID? What are some of the things you guys have been doing with the students to keep them going? And anyone can answer that.
I'll defer to AD.
So in the last year, it has been challenging. We went through a period for most of the last academic year where we were virtual. Even though we had students on campus, they were in virtual classes for the entire year. And so that was really challenging. You can imagine being a college student and you're seeing your professor through your phone. If you were fortunate to have a laptop or an iPad, you were able to see them in that manner, but it's not ideal for students to be able to do that. So we were able to partner with counseling services on campus. And we do have a professional that has some background working in the professional arenas with athletes. And he was able to spend some time with our student athletes and really putting those resources in front of them. But also their coaches really standing in the gap. Our coaches got very creative, talking to some of their colleagues to see how they could reach and connect with their student athletes, doing some more of that team building that we do. At the beginning of seasons or during the winter breaks when we have teams still on campus, and really employing those resources and those techniques to make sure that we could take care of their mental well-being when it was necessary, when it didn't pertain to what was going on with their athletic participation. It didn't have anything to do with my academic success, but it had to do with me sending money back home, or me picking up a job so I could send money back home, or for some of our student athletes that were home and trying to stay connected to campus, really using Zoom and Microsoft Teams to our advantage to do that, because that is how we had to stand in the gap, all while asking them to go through 3-day-a-week testing and not being able to practice as a full team, but in small groups. It really makes that team building, challenging. Yet most of our coaches saw their teams return and come back this year so that they could be on campus in person.
Just a little technical. Just Mr. Du Bois, you can just chime in just a little bit while we're waiting for AD Thomas to come back. I think she's just got a technical difficulty, like she was just saying, keeping the teams connected, keeping the teams optimistic and connected to the school. How was that for you guys and the work that entailed?
Yeah, our coaches were very creative in those spaces. We had coaches that were doing a lot of different things to keep their teams together via Zoom, via Microsoft Teams. As you shared, these small groups that we were able to do with some of the teams of people that were actually there. We had some student athletes that were out of town, or even out of state. So while a small group may be in some form of practice or some form of team building activity, they were Zooming and connecting with those student athletes that were out of town or out of state. So, if it's a positive that happened in this, it was that the teams really got to know each other, and they were able to build friendships and bonds that I believe will last a lifetime, because they've gone through something together that nobody else will be able to say that they've been through together.
That's for sure. Trying times, but it builds strong character and strong bonds, like you were saying. Okay, we're just gonna, any parting words? I'm just gonna open the floor up to Sif, because he's gonna open it wide open for he can't help himself. Sif, give us some parting words and let our guests.
I'm the funny man on here. But to Coach Charles, Coach Penny, man, you have my support 100%. We've already talked about some of the people that we're going to connect you guys with, both from a playing standpoint and also from a sponsor's standpoint. So you got my word on that. I'll connect those dots. Mr. Fields, didn't get a chance to hear what your exit plan was. What are you doing now? I'd love to hear that, because you've exited the program, right?
Yeah. So I was actually the very first Division I recruit scholarship golfer back in 2006. So I played all 4 years when we transitioned into the MEAC. And so I took that, and like I said, I ended up playing professionally for a year and a half, hurt my back, and became the first assistant golf professional at TPC Piper Glen. So the first African-American PGA affiliated golf professional in the Charlotte area from 2011 to 2015. Okay. And now I own and operate a team of 8 residential real estate agents in the Charlotte metro area, and one of the top mid-amateur golfers in the area, in the state, actually. So
Terrain Gill?
Terrain Gill, yeah, I beat him all the time.
me too. I'll make sure I tell him that.
I'll text him right now.
Terrain's my guy, man. And,
that's my guy for a long time.
Yeah, and to Miss Thomas, you're doing an excellent job over there. I know being a African American female in the position that you're in, you get a lot of challenges and probably a lot of shade. But seriously, it's the nature of the business. But for what I see in Winston-Salem State's athletic program, you're doing a tremendous job. And hopefully when I come to Winston, it seems like you got to connect on that fish sandwich. You can take me to the back. I don't have to stand in line, so we can go straight to the back. And Mr. DeBose, awesome, great. It's always a guy, and I can tell Mr. DeBose, you're an astute guy. the way you spit those numbers out, and you need a person like that on your staff to make sure the checks and balances are always correct, man. So much love to you and Mr. Price. I'm gonna have to make a visit, man. I can't go out and shoot 32-45. That's just anyway. But I love Winston-Salem State, man. It's my aunt went there. I know a lot of people who from Salisbury went to Winston-Salem State who are doing great. The Red Sea down at the Battle of the Bands in Atlanta, I've attended on many occasions, man. Winston-Salem State is an awesome university, man, and I really appreciate you guys letting us be a part of what you do.
Thank you, Big Sif. Again, I'm just going to second that because, you know, we always feel honored just to be able to talk to you guys because you guys, like I said, you're day in, your day out. You know, it's not a talk show. You guys are putting in the work. You guys are getting these great kid scholars and scholar athletes and bringing them in. And then actually the new golf program, we're just so super excited to see that another thirst for collegiate golf in the mind, especially the HBCUs. We just really excited about that because I just don't think enough light has been shined on you guys' programs as a whole and individually. And like we just said, like, come on, you know, you're getting people from Argentina, Brazil, all of South America. And if they could get to coach, they're going to get to coach and beg to come over here and get in y'all school. So I don't know, people. Let's get it going.
Hey, Manny. Hey, Manny. And I bet you didn't know this. And Trish, I bet you didn't know this. Winston-Salem State has the #1 social work and nursing department in the country.
Well, I knew about the nursing because I'm a nurse, but I knew about the nursing program and how the accolades that their nursing program had for sure. And it was because it was what Winston Teachers College, and then I was doing my little history, and I was
okay.
Oh, see, I do a little bit of homework. Don't come on, I just don't jump on and look as fabulous as I am right now. I do read just a little bit, but you know, being from Cali, and I didn't go to HBCU, but you know, I try to dig in deep and see who I'm talking to, and I was just super duper impressed about, and this had nothing to do with golf, just about your fine institution by itself. And it's just a lot of people on the West Coast, which we should know, don't know how great these institutions are and the accolades and the skill building. I've been blessed enough. A lot of my golfers that's in my golf league out here went to HBCU. So, we always got some HBCU stuff going on and some alumni stuff going on. But yeah, I dug deep, Sif. I dug a little deep, not as probably much as you, but I read up, I looked, and I was just excited to just have them on, especially from I think what was I watching? They do not a new thing, I don't know if it's new, where the new freshmen do a walk, right? And the elder statesmen greet them and welcome them into the family. And I was just so impressed. I was like, wow, a 17 to 18-year-old, you're seeing what you could be in 3 to 4 years if you do the right things, and you already got family the first day you step on the campus. I just kept watching it and watching it and watching it, and I was just like, they're doing good stuff. They're doing good stuff. And that was set aside from the golf. Now that the golf, I'm just a huge fan, period. Trish, parting words.
Parting words, 2 things. So what I do know about Winston-Salem, so I used to, once upon a time in a past lifetime, I used to work in NASCAR. And so I used to work at the Martinsville Motor Speedway. And at the Martinsville Motor Speedway, the nicest people I've ever worked with in my life lived in Winston-Salem. So that's what I know about Winston-Salem. They have the nicest, kindest people that live in Winston-Salem.
You must think it over to Martin Luther King.
Maybe not. All I know is the folks that I met, they introduced me to some fried bologna sandwich, and it was just life. And they became like my best friends. I mean, it was everything.
Nice.
I had to ask Robert. So
go.
No, Sif. Thinking about that fried bologna sandwich.
Off the chain.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Oh yeah.
We do that at
and
the
then
crib.
Robert.
Yes, sir.
No. Hey, Charlie. Miss Thomas, you got to tell him.
Oh, it's the thick bologna.
Man,
It's the thick
it's
slice.
thick. It's like an inch.
Kermit's is right behind campus. You got to get over there. I don't eat meat, but you got to get over there and get one.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's everything. And then
Nice.
Robert, I did want to say, if you had advice or any words to Coach Penny and everybody with the Winston Salem team, for this year to come.
I mean, for Coach, it would really just be, obviously, as I share, as the kids that you have, I think five guys this year. Five. Yeah. So, I mean, the reality is, as man, just get them. What breeds confidence is experience. And so whatever you can get them in, however you can get them in it, it's a beautiful thing. And so as you can just do that, that will go a long, long way. And so as this game is an opportunity for connections, and Mr. Fields there has realized that in his experiences of playing golf. And so he is an exemplar of how it looks and what it looks like from I graduated from, and this is what I've done with this skill set that I have achieved from a wonderful institution. So, just kind of reaching out to those alums and getting them, fired up about your program, and just trying to reach out to people about, what you're doing there is a big deal. So I'm excited. I'll share, that you all have a team, and I think y'all in the CIAA now. So we just, let people know. Like I said, around here in Savannah, we got there's quite a few golfers in this area. So, this is a nice recruiting opportunity for you here. I'm in the area. So if you're looking for somebody in this area, let me know. I will be more than willing to point them in your direction or you in their direction. So that's what's up.
Awesome.
Coach, I'm gonna tell Livingstone to take it easy on you this year, Coach Penny.
Hey man,
they tough, man.
You know what Rams do on the side of the mountain, right?
What they do?
Regardless of the size of their opponent or the alpha that's standing across from them, they run head into them, and whatever the result is, they're gonna feel it.
That's right. That's
right. I'm gonna take that back to the coach.
That's right. And we're gonna give Coach. Let's give Coach the last word. What do you want to say about the program, your students that's coming in? What do you need us to do? Let's go, Coach.
Yeah. Well, first, let me say I appreciate the opportunity for you all reaching out and having us here on the podcast. Fred Taylor from I Am Athlete always says expansion leads or exposure leads to expansion. And so just you having and giving us this hour and 20 minutes to come and talk about our program, it is definitely, we are definitely grateful for the opportunity. Even though my athletes aren't up here, they thank you. They know that we were on a podcast. And then also Robert, my parents live in Statesboro, so I'm not too far from you when I'm down there visiting. So I'll come over there next time I'm down that way. But I couldn't have done this without my fearless leader and AD Thomas, and my good brother Dubose, and then my newly found brother due to the game of golf, Jarrell Fields. I said, one of my biggest things that I believe in, and it's partly ministry, but then just how I've been raised, you go and get the intergenerational workings to come and to support and put your minds together. And so that's why I got everybody from each portion within our organization, even alum, to come and talk about experiences. So thank you for all joining me.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we knew we're going to give that up. And a little air horns, because that's awesome and fabulous. We can just tell by you guys and you guys' dedication and how you speak about the program. You guys have a million years of success coming, and we're just excited to be one of the first people to get to talk to you and have you on and spread your good word. Because, just like you said, you spread the good word, good things come back. So with that said, we ain't going to keep everybody. I know people want to get to that fish. Look at Sip over there. He's almost done with
The Shy's got a 2-hour episode tonight.
You guys, now all the schools that come on the golf locker room, y'all family now. So anything you need, even you can come on anytime. Anytime you need to come on, anything we can do, we got you. You're family. Thank you, Winston Salem. Sif, he's gonna do something. I'm gonna say goodbye, but as soon as every time I say goodbye, he gonna say something. So let's give Sif the last word because he gonna say it anyway. Let's go.
Hey, Charles, Mr. Fields, Terrain and I will play you guys 2 down automatic any way you want to play.
Here comes the bet.
Don't do it.
Here comes
don't
the
do
bet.
Well,
don't do
let
it.
let me get my boy Al Wood. I'm gonna cut Terrain. Al Wood.
Don't do Al either. Al know about me. Don't do it.
Mr. Fields, you must be a bad man.
I've known Al for a long time.
That's my dog. He's on next week's podcast. So make sure you tune in.
You tell Al. Don't do it.
Get him, Mr. Fields. That's right. Don't even do it. And on that note, we are out.
Thank y'all.
Thank you guys. It's out.
Thank you for having
Sif,
you wild, bro.
You're a wild man, Sif. You can't help yourself.
I can't help it, man.
We love it. We love it.
We're gonna pray for you.
Pray for me.
Pray ain't gonna help.
Hey man, you talking about Forsyth Seafood, man. I was sitting there when you were talking about that. My first official day at Winston, that was what I ate for lunch.